Hi everyone, in today's video we're going to look at plateaus in training and how they can actually still be very, very productive. And we tend to think as runners that we're either progressing or we're regressing and going backwards. But it isn't that simple, it really isn't at all. So what do I mean by a plateau in training? Now, obviously, yes, it means we're not progressing forwards. However, it doesn't actually mean that we're not changing the training variables, but it doesn't mean our body isn't still adapting to those same stimuli. So for instance, if we look at the volume of training, so you might hit say 40 miles one week, and rather than progressing up to 41, 42 or 43 miles the following week, you could hold it at 40. That's technically a plateau in some respects. However, you could still be increasing the intensity of training. So we're looking at one variable. Equally, if we match the same intensity but added on more volume, just from easy running, that's still technically not a plateau, although you may think of it as one because we're not pushing up more reps at paces, we're not doing more distance at our speeds or faster running paces. Ultimately, this comes into the volume and all the overall load of the training. So if you did exactly the same thing for 2 weeks in a row, you would still be moving forward because as long as there's a sufficient stimulus and sufficient effort level in that first week, the second week you're just progressing less. We're seeing a blunting of that curve. Doesn't mean we're not still improving. Now, the great thing about plateaus is that it gives your body a chance to catch up. So if you're somebody who has a high risk of injury, doing this hard work and then stabilizing for you gives your body a chance to catch up. Someone who's injury prone probably hasn't got a problem with their fitness ever really being too much of an issue because the body is often breaking down before that point. So plateau can give you a chance for your body to catch up, even if you do it for a couple of weeks. Gives you a chance for your body to catch up and go, actually, you know what, I'm ready to now do this more, and then we can push and push and push. It takes patience, it takes a very much more methodical approach, but it can be brilliant. Plateaus can also be really useful if you're somebody who is a non-injury prone runner, someone who's really pushing on, having great success, no aches, no pains. You can still do a plateau, but instead of a drop down week, swap in a plateau week. So it doesn't mean that you again don't take big pushes, doesn't mean you don't work hard. But again, you work from a peak mileage week where you actually, I feel pretty good still. Let's hold that week and then maybe progress slightly more gradually than you're going to. Instead of taking that drop down and then a big push back up again or back to that same level, you might keep it at that same level, again, plateauing the mileage but reducing the intensity. Technically a drop down week in some context, in some ways of thinking about it. So I would think of that as a drop down, but traditionally that would be technically not a drop down week, that would be just a maintenance week. But a plateau maintenance week is fantastic, it's effective. So don't think that you only need to do this and you have to only push on all the time or be stepping back all the time. There is a mid ground actually, which can be very, very, very productive. Plateaus, they do give you time, they give you a chance to really think things through, make sure you're making correct decisions. They're going to benefit your long term success. And also, it could be really helpful if you're just feeling a bit tired. Rather than trying to push on, if you're sleeping really poorly, you've got lots of stresses, have a week where you just go, no, I'm just going to copy and paste from last week, get the sessions done, and I don't need to think about it. I just go out the door and go and run because I've already known what I've done and that's worked and that's been productive. Productivity versus perfection is really what we're looking for. We want to be productive most of our running. We don't necessarily need to be perfect and pushing, pushing, pushing all the time, and we can still get fantastic results. So, if you want to give that a go, I think it's a really great tip for lots of people. Yes, it might feel like you're kind of missing a trick, but realistically, you're probably going to do fantastically well from this one. Gives you a chance to reset and to push on in the future. See you soon.